we have to ask ourselves as leaders, what do we need to prove and who do we need to satisfy? You know, so some points. We need to be able to prove that the method was voluntary for the person involved. We need to look at their motive, their opportunity, their substantiated value, their intent and knowledge, the mental state of the subject, the venue, if there was recording consent, if there was Miranda or Garrity, location of evidence. And then from the satisfaction standpoint, who do we need to satisfy? Well, in some cases, we need to satisfy ourselves as leaders of the department that everything that occurred happened correctly and in the order that it needed to. We may also need to satisfy our human resources partners, law enforcement if it's a prosecutable case, the prosecutor if it clears the LE hurdle, a judge, a jury, an arbitrator, a union for those of us in union environments. It may be that the investigation and the interview needs to satisfy an unemployment hearing or EEOC. When I look at a case as an LP leader, I look at what do we need to evolve to in the interview process, what do we need to prove, who do we need to prove it to. Most importantly, I think it is that our interviewers get the big picture. A lot of times, based on your interviewer's background, they may have tunnel vision. They may come from an LE background where they were used to presenting a case to a prosecutor, and that's the only way that they look at things. They may come from a store detective background where they were used to presenting things to the responding officer, and they write and handle a report in that manner, and subsequently that bleeds through to their interview process. They may be great at presenting at one, but are they looking at this as a whole in that at any point your interview could be subject to the scrutiny of proving these points or satisfying these groups. So I think that when you look at it that way, that you have to keep yourself maybe open to new things. There have been a lot of techniques to not only find truth, but apply the results of that truth when it's found across to multiple end recipients. So I think anytime we look at a situation like this, our goal should be finding the truth versus finding the confession. You know, one of the things that I don't believe in as a leader is looking at confession rates as a badge of honor on the interviewer. I instead like to look at how are they conducting the interviews, what are they doing, are they building case facts whether the person is innocent or guilty, and back to the false confession thing, because in my mind, if you're human, and that's one of the things that we strive to be at my organization here, you know, the worst thing that you could possibly do is think that someone who is innocent is in fact done anything. So we want to keep in mind, you know, what's the process? How did we get there? You know, the ends don't automatically or always justify the means. We want to be legal, moral, and ethical when we go through and we handle any investigation and any interview.
For those of you who have kids, you've done it. Did you eat the cookie? And immediately, kid has chocolate all over their face. What are they going to say every time? No, didn't do it. So it's going to sound the same if they're innocent or guilty, whether they have the chocolate all over their face or not. And so there's emotional pressures and defensiveness. You immediately cause somebody to lie to you if they are in fact guilty. You've created a liar, which it's easier to overcome one situation, they're a criminal, versus two situations, they're a criminal and a liar. So that's some drawbacks of using that approach. And if you think of how it will work, it's just like this, right? Deny, deny, deny. That's what we're making them do. That's our fault as an interviewer. And then a lot of people try to base it on behavioral stuff. And over the years, what we've been doing is a lot of research. And Dr. Maria Hartwig did research on being able to tell, she's from John Jay, on being able to tell the difference between truth and guilt. And they found in the research that there's a 54% accuracy rate in identifying truth versus guilt. Folks, that's flipping a coin. That's not a good percentage. right? That's not what we should be doing. We should be looking for actionable intelligence, for verifiable facts that we can identify, okay, they weren't being truthful here because we know this is what happened and this is what they said and it doesn't match, right? That's what we're looking for.